Yes, congratulations, Ana. Now it's Vinícius Pavém from Brasil de Olho.
That's better now. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vinicius Pave. I am a system of information systems at the Federal University of Santa Catarina. I wanted to start asking a question to everyone here. Who here remembers who you have voted for mayor in the last election? Well, that is easy. The election was a couple of weeks ago. And all the promises that this candidate or the elected mayor made, do you all remember them? All? The number dropped, right? So, this idea of Brazil is watching is to register all the promises that candidates made on an online platform that is available to everyone, where the citizens of each city may publish information, make suggestions, and check whether that promise is being kept. Here is an example in which one citizen is trying to check whether the promise made was made. So the mayoral candidate makes a promise about a crash. It goes out there and checks whether the promise is going to be fulfilled. 2012, 2013, following the construction of the Child Center, and 2014, finally the promise has been fulfilled. So you can keep track of all the promises and the results. So what is different? What distinguishes this idea from other citizenship ideas, such as the project Sustainable City, that follows every day of the mayor's from election, is to follow the promises and see and keep checks whether the promises that were made were satisfied, were fulfilled. So Brazil is watching. Brasil de Olho comes to reduce demagogy. So promise is a commitment. Support this idea. Thank you very much.
Vinícius, isso é promessa?
Vinicius, this is a promise. Jokes aside, I think it's interesting. Election just passed, but since I think this can be done, what you're proposing is nice because of the amplitude, and amplitude is a problem. To explain this in 5,000 municipalities that there is in Brazil, and to make people follow this is a great effort. I think that case is fundamental. If you're able to do it in a small scale with a few cities, even without a very sophisticated platform, the great challenge that you have is not to make it sophisticated, to make it happen. Even in a small scale, I know that we are anxious when we have good ideas and we want to cover the whole country and a little more than we were able on the very first day. But my idea is carry it out, do it right away, even if it's on a very small scale, because the idea is good and its execution is going to give you the communication or the coverage that you need. So do it the fast as you can, because these people that we elected, they promised us over 83 things, I think. So it's very important to have a platform such as yours. And you too, you have to keep your promise of fulfilling this dream. I also liked it. I think it was very nice. And I follow the same line. And why is everyone saying we shouldn't make a sophisticated platform? Because basically it's to build is something that is expensive to carry out. But the problem is to generate traffic, and that is much more expensive. So in order to make people that effectively access this platform is not a trivial thing, and most entrepreneurs think that is going to be viral. people will find out of the blue and they will come. That is not true. You have to have a clear strategy how to attract people to your platform, and not only because it's politics that people will find it interesting. You have to have a very clear proposal to make people come. Well, if you don't have that, that side is not ready. So do small experiences. Do it here, right here in your city, with not with a platform, with something more simpler, be it Orkut or Facebook, whatever, to see effectively whether I have 20,000 likes and why these people like, who are these people who like, what is the profile of these people, what is the communication that effectively work, so that I can build something on this data, so that I can have something built that is a little better, and I gradually increase it. But congratulations, I like the idea. Vinicius, I think that the motivation is highly noble, but I think that you have lots of dragons waiting for you along the way. The first one is related to the public, because there is nothing that stimulates the people than this subject of politics, and perhaps this is one of the reasons why he has so many problems, because people feel disfranchised with politics. And I think that we cannot solve a problem by a promise meter. I don't think that we can increase the situation like this. I think that dialogue is much better than just to check whether they keep up with their promises or not, because sometimes they will get worse results for the city than if they didn't implement some of their promises. I think if I were to tackle this problem, and I just thinking this is off the top of my head, perhaps I would create a platform that is more goes more towards the dialogue, because I think politics try to scare people because there is not enough dialogue in it. Congratulations, Vinicius. I agree with what Bruno said, but I also see that in the last few years, mobilization around promises and the reaction of people, and even it tends to put people off. So I see here an opportunity, because it calls so much attention to put them off. It's because they cause attention, but all the difficulties that were mentioned are a valid criticism. First, you have to think how you can get together with other groups that are also thinking about the planning of the city, transparency. Here we have Floripa Te Quero Bem platform. Maybe they can be partners to work together in your project. And second, according to what Renato said, how to make people go to your site, generate traffic. It's to make them to become inspectors, also to follow the development of these works, in certain to make them